Hi, and a warm welcome to this FAMO Fascia Movement practice. Let's start in low kneeling with arms overhead, active forward fold, lift the pelvis, getting into the starting position, which is high kneeling. You can either go hip distance and parallel with mumu or into a kneeling A stance. The knees are about shoulder distance apart, which might be a little bit more knee-friendly. Let's call it like this in the beginning. Sit back, upper body centered, exhalation, curl up. With your inhalation, you sit back with your pelvis and spine centered. Exhale, curl up. Now, the inhalation is slow. The exhalation is in the rhythm of a fluid upward motion. In the beginning, the curl up not always feels fluid, but with practice it becomes more and more fluid because we are developing fascial glide within and around the quadriceps. Stay lifted. Bring your knees into a parallel leg alignment and then turn the right leg out. Lift it up and walk your forefoot onto a massage dome. So we're going to do a hip release, active and dynamic. It's a classic with a variation. So forefoot on the massage dome, pelvis with a little bit of lift from the pubic bone, left hand to the front of the hip, right hand to the inside of the knee, pelvic floor lightly engaged. Now you pull the foot on the right towards the knee lightly. Then you slowly glide into hip release, but internally resist the pull. You go 3/4 of the way, maybe a little bit more if you're like me, a fascial Viking. Temple dancers, stay with mumu. And now you pull more. Draw the foot toward the knee, hold it really steady. Adductors actively lengthened and engaged, fascia tensioned. With your right foot, push against the dome, lifting the upper body, muscle tone, fascial tension go down. Walk your foot forward with deliberate steps, so that's with awareness, into a 90-90 kneeling position. Raise your arms overhead with an arm circle. Active forward fold, T-arms. Place your left hand onto a massage dome. Remember, you could always be on the floor or a yoga block. If your hand is on the massage dome, it is the heel of your hand. And now you really press the heel of the hand against the dome and you're spreading your top ribs like a fan. They are opening. With your next inhalation, push your left hand against the dome. Exhale, release. As you push the hand against the dome, the body shifts to the right. We call this a hip shift. Now, as you can see, when Mumu and I release the push with the bottom hand, our top elbow bends slightly. Though that's not a deliberately done elbow bend. It's almost like we just let it happen. So we reach the arm away and then we allow a slight elbow bend as the body shifts back. In your imagination, your upper body, top side, is growing longer and longer and longer with every hip shift. Let's do this one more time. And then let the breath flow. Pause in side stretch. Reach your top hand toward the floor. Your arm is fully extended now. You're reaching down, spiraling the back of the ribcage open. Your thoracic spine spirals along. Place your hand onto the floor, walk both of your hands forward and over toward your right side. We are in an unwinding side stretch, softening the previously lengthened side, now lengthening the previously shortened side. Place a massage ball onto the base of the big toe, anchoring the forefoot basically at the big toe. Then you shift back as far as your body allows, and then you shift forward as far as you can keep the foot on the floor. Shift back, keeping your Forefoot or the ball of the foot anchored and shift forward. So we love that movement. It is a 90-90 shift, slow movement here, also promoting glide, but this time across the front of the ankle. And we also have a wonderful mobilization for the foot, ankle, knee, a little bit for the hip, but knee, ankle, foot are more important, especially the longitudinal arches of the foot. We want responsiveness, and this is a great variation to facilitate. Then you can shift forward, pause the movement, place the ball onto the left side, center your upper body, roll up into an upright 90-90 kneeling position, placing your left hand onto the left hip, right hand onto the right knee. Keep your upper body dynamically stabilized into a controlled fall. Exhale into dynamic shift, recoil with your inhalation. A little bit more stable than me would be excellent. Now you can accelerate the recoil by pushing your front foot slightly away, just before you're at end range. So let's keep that going one more time, and then pivot over the heel, turn the leg out. 2 bounces, pivot over the toes. 2 bounces. So we are gradually, in little steps, walking out, also increasing the responsiveness in our, let's call it neuromyofascial skeletal system here. In other words, joints, muscles, fascial structures, and also adaptation in the nervous system. Now, when we are, or adaptability, I should have said. And then when we are in 90-90 gate pose again, forefoot onto the dome, bringing a little bit of extra tension into the Achilles tendon, pelvic floor lightly engaged, and then we go into a dynamic hip release. So with your exhalation, into a controlled fall. When you inhale to recoil back, a little bit of a push with the foot against the dome. So we call this power amplification in an elasticizing movement. Let's do this 2 more times, and then we want to give a little bit more momentum to the movement by adding an arm pendulum. Now, the arm pendulum has a very definitive upswing to the left. Up. So the arm pendulum adds additional momentum and also that upward motion that you're already accelerating with the foot that's pushing against the dome. Last one. And then you stay lifted, slow motion into a kneeling lateral angle pose, right hand onto the floor, upper arm against the inside of the knee, your right knee can lightly press against the upper arm, the sternum revolving toward the ceiling. Pull your right foot toward the left knee. Kneeling lateral angle pose. If you can, one line from knee to hip to shoulder to hand. If not yet, that's great too. You're doing the pose anyway. Now to move out of the position, you go into a releve right point, push, lift, unwinding side bend. Center. Move your forefoot off the dome, the heel a little back, point, turn the leg in, lower the leg down into a high kneeling position, wide knees or parallel, whatever works best for your body right now. Hands to the front of the hips. You inhale, sit back, exhalation, curl up very smoothly. Balancing on the go. Between unilateral exercises, we include bilateral movements. And you can imagine it as, how do we call it? We kind of smooth the edges of unilateral exercise, a little bit like watercolor. Let it spread a little bit. It's much nicer than to go to the other side. So let's do this one more time. And then pause. Turn your left foot out, lift, walk over the massage dome with your forefoot. Set up your elongated 90-90 kneeling position, engage to your center, Focus on the pelvic floor and then pull. Foot towards the knee. You're pulling yourself into the hip release, but internally you resist. And then 3/4. If you're a very limber temple dancer, fascial temple dancer, not literal temple dancer, and if you're a Viking, again, metaphorically speaking, in your fascial world, you're very stable, you just go a little bit deeper. You pause, pull, heel towards the knee, make it really firm. This is a muscle-focused position here that induces fascial tension into the adductor fascia, and that's a pathway to the fascial pelvic floor. Now push and feel the muscle tone and fascial tension go down. Walk the foot forward, again with conscious, deliberate movements. Everything we do is deliberate, staying in the present moment. I think we did an arm circle. We did. Active forward fold. And then right hand onto the massage dome. Heel of the hand again. And you press down, opening the top ribs. So with your inhalation, it's movement and breath. Feel you are more and more widening your top ribs. We are going into the push. Inhale. Push the hand against the dome, let the pelvis shift. Exhale, let the pelvis shift back. So can you imagine that with every inhalation and with every hip shift, you are actively lengthening and tensioning the fascial layers in the side body at the top, from superficial fascia to the deeper layer of fascia. So there is gliding motion, which is absolutely health and movement functionality promoting, and we are creating vital space for the inner organs, and that's directly linked to your physiological vitality. Last one. And then you let the breath flow, keep the pelvis stabilized as it is, reach your left hand toward the floor, spiraling the back of the rib cage open. It's again a multidimensional glide-inducing motion. Then you walk both hands forward across to the opposite sides. This is an unwinding side stretch that's promoting fluid flow. And fluid flow is key for a feeling, and not just a feeling, but actual rejuvenescence. One of my favorite words in the English language. And then you take the massage ball, place it onto the base of the big toe, anchor the base of the big toe, go into a slow shift. Use your full range of motion, keeping the ball of the foot anchored, the heel grounded. And then bringing your awareness to the foot, the longitudinal arches of the foot, especially the medial arch. And for some of us, we can feel a beautiful lift. It kind of has a spiraling feeling to it when we shift back. And then an opening of the arch. Let's do this one more time as we move forward. So we become more responsive in the foot, including the plantar fascia. Then you place the massage ball to the other side, center your upper body, curl up into a 90-90 kneeling upright position, centered, dynamically stabilized in your pelvis and your spine. With your next exhalation, controlled fall, recoil back. So here, again, we shy away from an end range movement. Before you're at end range, you give it a push to recoil back. It's a push with your foot. So our play with power amplification. Ooh, now we are walking out. And we do a double stepping again. Now, Mumu and I, we love this version. So does my sister, by the way, who is behind the camera. Because Monica loves trail running, I love running, and Mumu likes to be agile on her feet. And because we can't predict always where we are going or what life, presents us with, we want to be as adaptable as possible. So it's one of our favorite responsiveness exercises. So forefoot onto the massage dome. You're again engaged in your center. And then you pull. No, you don't pull. No, because we go into dynamic hip release. Temporarily distracted. So it's your exhalation to controlled fall into hip release. You recoil back. You have the massage dome. I love that. To give that push against. And you can really accelerate the recoil up. Let's give it momentum by adding the arm pendulum. Now, you might feel, if you're familiar with this exercise, that having the forefoot on the massage dome increases tension in the Achilles tendon, so that's one aim. And you can also feel the recoil is a little slower, so that would be really normal. Therefore, we amplify it with the push of the foot against the dome, slow motion. Glide into kneeling lateral angle pose, pull the foot toward the knee, lift up from the pubic bone, having pelvic floor and lower, deep abdominals engaged. So you give it a lift, elongating the lower back. We have inside-out core activation and an outside-in stimulus. Unwind the movement by releve, push, unwinding side bend. Center, lower the forefoot, point the toes, turn the leg in, bring it back. We are in high kneeling again, hands to the front of the hips. With your inhalation, sit back, exhale, curl up. Let's do this one more time, and then we have a variation. With your inhalation, you go into a long arch. With your exhalation, center and sit back. With your inhalation, lift halfway up, centered. Exhale, drop and curl. Smooth inhalation, arch. Slow exhalation, center. Slow inhale, lift. Dynamic drop, curl, exhale. Inhale again. Let's do this one more time. Arch. Sit back, centering, integration. Maintain it. Curl, balancing on the go. Arch, balancing on the go. And then sit all the way back. And I hope you feel absolutely fantastic with our FAMO classics. Practice with a twist.